Some of it does appear to be transient or idiosyncratic. Inflation has persisted longer than we thought. You need a bit of a reset.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and Redfin appears to be a sinking ship. I believe their over-optimism is finally starting to catch up to them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna review a video where the Redfin CEO actually went on to Fox News to talk about the housing market. Now, what I find interesting about this video, and you guys know this is the third video I'm making about the Redfin CEO, I want you to watch his demeanor. He appears to be completely burnt out. And I also want you to pay attention to the answers that he gives. Even though I'm sensing he's being a little bit more cautious, I still find his answers completely ridiculous. But what I want to do is I want you guys to comment and tell me whether or not you like what the Redfin CEO is saying, whether or not you believe him, or do you think he's just saying the things he's saying to save face, to make his stockholders happy? Help me decide that. But you guys remember, I'm not your financial advisor. This is my personal YouTube channel, even though my bio is as an American with 3 jobs, someone that understands utilization ratio, needing to be under 30% on my credit cards, someone that uses mint.com to track all of my financing so that I can cut expenses and save more money, and someone that cares about you winning, because you guys, we are all in this together. And if you can, please, for my effort, like this video, subscribe, share it, hit notification, and as always, comment below. They are so empowering, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. Let's jump into this video right now.
Good to see you, Neil.
About what you're seeing, is this a correction, a bump, worse? How do you describe it?
It's been a very sharp correction. I don't think people realize just how bad May and June were. 70% of the listings in Boise dropped their price. 16% of the homes under contract canceled nationwide. We've never seen that level of cancellation. So buyers significantly pulled back early in the summer. But now, since about mid-July, things have been getting better. Modestly better, but better.
So he's using the word sharp correction, but do you guys see what I mean? Do you see his demeanor? I want you guys to comment below before you really go into this and tell me how you suspect this interview will go. Now, I do sense a bit more cautious approach, but also you're going to notice that he's also saying like, hey, things are getting better. You know, we had an uptick in July, which is true, but I believe that was a fleeting uptick in pricing and growth in the housing market that was due in large part by the drop of interest rates in July. And I believe that essentially it shook loose a lot of the buyers on the sidelines, unfortunately, and I believe those people made a very drastic mistake. But I want you guys to comment below. Tell me what you think. Let's hop back into the video right now.
A lot of people have put their homes on the market too, so that's increased supply depending on what market you're looking at. So what are the most vulnerable markets as you see them?
Tampa Bay, Las Vegas, San Antonio, New Orleans, the eastern part of LA, say Riverside County. Those are the markets that got bid up and now are coming down. We're seeing the same thing in Denver and Boise, as I already mentioned. So those places have just had massive price volatility. I think there are so many institutional sellers, whether it's iBuyers or builders or real estate investment trusts that own a significant portion of the inventory. Now they are liquidating that inventory very quickly. They just drop their prices much faster than typical homeowners.
Let's freeze right there. What I'm really loving that he's saying is institutional sellers are starting to liquidate their properties. And you guys remember where I'm saying that I suspect we're going to get great deals from new builders and investors. So the fact that the Redfin optimistic dude is even saying that right now, to me, is music to my ears, because again, things are only getting worse right now. We still have horrible inflation. We're still not even in a confirmed recession. I mean, they're kicking the can down the road. I mean, obviously, which is going to lead this to get even more and more worse, right? But I find it very, very interesting, his attitude. And I also find it very interesting that he didn't bring up the two cities with year over year price decline, which is San Francisco and Oakland. But it's very intriguing. There's so many cities that are about to experience the same thing. He went into Las Vegas, to Tampa, I believe he also said Miami, Boise, Riverside. This is happening very, very quickly. And I believe the reason he looks so burnt out is he's starting to realize that himself. The big mistake I feel most people make is treating this housing market like it's the new normal, when the reality is it's not the new normal. It's not going through seasonal adjustments. Obviously, right? It's from COVID, obviously from the Federal Reserve. You guys get that. I know you guys get that, but it's really crazy how they're not acknowledging it. Let's get back to this video right now.
So compared to the housing meltdown that led to a financial meltdown, more than a decade ago, is it anything like that?
Well, I ran Redfin back then, and it sure doesn't feel that way. So there's still trillions of dollars of equity.
It doesn't feel that bad, you're saying?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Almost immediately, home buyers have come back to the market since rates have dropped from about 6.25% to 5.25%. As prices have come down, people are trying to buy the homes again. I don't think those numbers will show up until about September, but demand has been better. And the real issue is that people aren't being forced to sell. There's been some forced selling among the institutions, which I just mentioned. Right. But most people, when they can't get the price that they want, just pull their home off the market. Whereas in 2008, they had to sell, whether it was for $400,000 or $300,000, because they were over their skis on their mortgage.
Poor guy. Shortly after making that video, interest rates have skyrocketed. That's going to continue to put more pressure on unaffordability and demand. And you know what it is it's crazy. One slight drop in interest rates in July and everyone started freaking out. I think it's because it's like wishful thinking, right? Like, oh, there's a drop, even though interest rates are like way higher, and all these other signs that we have. People like, oh, it's time to buy again before everyone rushes into the market and prices go up. Seriously, right? Like the fear of missing out, you guys, is all over the place. I hear it in his voice. He wants it so badly, but the fact of the matter is shortly after he said that, interest rates reversed trajectory and are actually going up significantly right now. All right, let's finish out this video.
It was not,
yeah,
but it's obviously boosted a lot of Americans' balance sheets, not back to where they were for most of them, but certainly up from our lows. And that is the currency that many buyers use, or at least tap, when they're looking to buy real estate. Is that dynamic changing your view of where the industry is headed?
That's so insightful and so true. So in May and June, some people were talking about interest rates, but many of our customers were also talking about their 401k. It just got waxed in the stock market. And since so many people now work for technology companies that pay in equity, not just cash, that really makes a difference in your down payment. So we just had massive economic uncertainty. We're still not out of the woods. Even if people could afford the monthly payment, they were worried about selling their stock portfolio when it was at such a low. So I think it's still going to be sort of like a nervous time,
right,
for people to be making a long-term purchase. It's hard to make a prediction for what will happen over the next 6 to 12 months, but there are at least some buyers coming back, in part because the stock market has come back and re-entered bull territory.
Psych, the stock market has been crashing. Why? The 10-year, the interest rates, things of that nature are surging. Generally, when the 10-year goes up and mortgage rates go up, right now anyways, the stock market goes down. So do you see why I'm saying? I'm being facetious, but that's why I'm saying poor guy. Everything he's saying, just like Zillow, the reverse is happening. And again, I kind of suspected that going into these months, although I thought the rates would go up sharply after the federal funds rate went up 75 basis points. But I told you guys in my update videos that I suspect moving into, this year, rates are going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And that's exactly what we've been saying. Now, it's very radical, though. I didn't expect such radical adjustments like that, because that's bad. The radical adjustments are bad for everyone. It's bad for lenders, consumers, investors. We need something to be, in my opinion, more gradual, right? This whole rug pulling thing is leading to more emotions, more fear of missing out, and people are making a mistake. But regardless, did he really answer the question? Is it going to be worse, or is it like 2008? Is he even answering these questions, right? I want you guys to do me a favor. Comment below based on what I showed you. Do you think he did a good job overall, or do you think he did a bad job overall? Now, other than that, you guys, I hope you guys got some value from this video. Now, and as always, if you're out there investing in real estate, I do wish you luck, and I hope you win.